Hi everyone, so this video is going to be all about brushes and just the different kinds of ones and the different ones that I like to use. So to start off with eye brushes, you have the basic shader brush, and these come in all different shapes and sizes and different thicknesses. This is just kind of a regular shader brush size, and this is an extra kind of large one, and I like to use this for just applying like a wash of colour all over my eye, like for a base colour, because it gets it done nice and quick and easy. The next staple that you must have, I think these two are the two kinds that you need to have for eye looks. So a shader brush and then a blending brush. This is the brush this is like my go-to blending brush. This is the MAC 224, and it's just nice and round and fluffy, and it blends out your colour, and it blends two colours together. So that's what you use them for, to blend out colour, to fade them out, and to blend two colours together, you know, like in your crease. And then this is the other one I like to use. It's more thin and tapered, and I like to use this for my outer corners and kind of right into the crease, for more kind of precise application. So you have your shader brush, your blending brush, and then there's angle brushes. This one is synthetic, and this is my favourite angle brush for eyeliner because it is so thin. It's like razor thin, and I love it because I can get a really, really thin line if I want to. And then so angle brushes are really good for using with like gel liners. If you struggle with gel liners, try an angle brush, or try an angle brush with some black eyeshadow, and that'll get you used to the kind of feel of it, because I think they're really handy for doing eyeliner. This one isn't synthetic, it's a real hair one, and it's not as thin, but I like it for my brows, for filling in my brows with powder or eyeshadow. So you have your angle brushes. Then these brushes are like good for detail because they're small. This is like a shader brush that's like really thin and kind of rounded, and this is a smudger brush for like smudging out colour along the lash line, and they're good for if you want to place colour in a really small area, like along your lower lash line or into the inner corner, just for detail work. These do a similar job. These are pencil brushes, and I like these for mainly along the lower lash line or into the inner corner. This one is kind of a pointier one, to get really, really precise, and this one is like more rounded, as you can see there, more rounded and just more full and dense. And then we have liner brushes. Now, as I said, angle brushes are really good for doing liner, but the more common ones you get are these thin ones, these long thin ones, which I'm just not a fan of. It's just personal preference. They're not really what I use, but they're handy to have. So this one is actually from Create, an art store or an art brand that I got at like Art and Hobby or something. So yeah, and it's good to get like a synthetic one because, hang on, this one here is a real haired one, and it kind of splays out more. It doesn't really hold its thin shape, so you don't get as precise a line. But a synthetic one, it stays nice and fine and thin at the tip. This is the brush that I use for my gel liner because I use the Maybelline gel liner, and I really love that, and this is actually the brush that comes with it. And it's just, I just fell in love with it, and it's just the style that I like to use. It's kind of rounded at the tip, but it's also really nice and fine at the tip too. It's just what works for me. I really like it. Okay, so foundation brushes. This is your standard paddle brush. This one is just a little small one from, I don't know, whatever that brand is. I don't use them as much. I use them when my other brushes are dirty and I have nothing else, because they tend to be a bit streaky. But you can, if you do like to use these and you find that they are a bit streaky, just you sweep on your foundation and then just pat over the areas where there are streaks, and that helps to blend them out. This is like it's a buffing brush, and these are kind of the new rage of foundation brushes. This is from Real Techniques, and it's the buffing brush. They have like a rounded top, and you like work in circular motions and just buff in the foundation into the skin, and you get like a really flawless airbrush finish with these kind of brushes. So these comes in all different like shapes and sizes, like you get angled ones and you get all different kind of sizes and things. This is a flat top one. It's similar to like a buffing brush in that you buff in the foundation, but I just found that they're different in the way that I just find them very different because it's totally flat. And I like the fact that these are rounded, so you can kind of get into the kind of the contours of your face, whereas I just don't like, I prefer the rounded ones over the flat top ones. But a lot of people swear by flat top kabuki foundation brushes, and this one is from Sigma. This is a stippling brush. You can get, again, like duo fibre brushes like these for foundation, which give a nice finish, but I find that I don't get the coverage that I need for my skin with them. So this one is from Real Techniques, and I really love these for cream blushes and liquid blushes. Yeah, I like the fact that this one is like short and stubby, so I have a little bit more control over the hairs, because like with these ones, they're just really kind of, well, when they're longer, they're a little bit more flappier. Okay, concealer. These kind of painterly ones, they're kind of like small versions of paddle brushes. These are the kind of the standard concealer brushes. Again, they're not really what I use, because when you're painting on your concealer, or like over a blemish or something like that, when you're wiping it on, you're kind of almost wiping off the product at the same time, and you kind of get more streaks again. So what a lot of makeup kind of people are doing are using like blending style brushes. This is actually an eye blending brush, but it's synthetic, so you can use it with creams and things, so it's great for concealer. I love this for under eye concealer. It blends really nicely, and also just buffing lightly over a blemish. It means you're not putting on too much product, so it's not going to be like cakey over your blemish, and also it just blends really nicely into the skin, and it just looks really flawless. This is another kind of concealer style brush. This is a lot bigger, and it's a lot more dense, and it's nice and rounded. So it's actually like a finger kind of almost. So it's great to for concealing, again, just to pat over any blemishes or smooth out concealer under the eye. And that one is from Sigma, I believe, yeah, the Precision Round. Contour brushes. The angled brushes are what a lot of people like to use. This is the MAC, what is it, the 168, I think, 168, yeah. Yeah, I like these. They're pretty standard, and you can use them for like blush as well. So they're kind of a good two-in-one, and you just sculpt along the contours of your face. Other styles you can get are like a domed one. This is from Sedona Lace, but I know MAC has, I think it's the 10, no, I'm not sure, but it's just a domed shape brush where it gets right into the contours of your face. And this is another kind of one. It's a little bit more tapered, more pointed. This is from Real Techniques. So again, it's just personal preference. Just try out a few different kinds and see what kind you like. For blush, then you just kind of have your standard blush brushes. This one is a bit more flat. It's kind of thin on the side and wide, and this one's a bit more rounded. And I couldn't find my go-to big powder brush for setting my foundation all over my face, but you can use your blusher brushes for setting your face with some powder, because you don't always need to set all over your face, because it's nice to have like a little bit of dewiness on your cheeks, and just set, you know, where you get oily, if you get oily, you know, mainly in the T-zone and things like that. So yeah, you can kind of use them as a two-in-one. Oh, and in terms of like brands and stuff, a lot of my brushes are from crownbrush.co.uk. They're like a cheaper, they're like a cheaper brand, but they're good quality for the price. I think my first ever brush set was from them, and I still use it today. Like, I think these shader brushes, and like I just have a few brushes from them that I still use today. They last pretty long. I mean, I've ordered quite a few brushes from them, and there have been a few that I haven't been too mad about. But yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty pretty reliable most of the time, and they're just a great price, so you can't really complain. Let me see. So like this blending brush that I use all the time is from Crown. It's the IB 119 Deluxe Crease, and it's from the Italian Badger collection, and that collection is a really nice collection. Their Syntho collection is really nice as well. Let me see. Oh, Sigma are excellent. They're an American brand, but you can get them on, I think it's Cloud 10 Beauty. Yeah, cloud10beauty.com or something, or .ie, I don't know. But they're Irish, so you don't have to pay too much for shipping. So it's SIGMA is the brand. And I got this set recently. It's the, I can't remember what set it is, but you get like 4 big kind of buffing style foundation brushes, and you get like different kind of concealer, smaller brushes like this. I really love them. They're kind of expensive. That set is kind of expensive, but I really like them. Real Techniques is kind of like now has become my go-to brand. They're all synthetic, so you can use them with powders and with creams. This is my go-to foundation brush, the buffing brush. I love it. It comes in the Core collection. There's also the, the Expert Face Brush, which is like the buffing brush in that it's kind of rounded and it's dense, but it's just a different shape. And I think it fits really nicely into the contours of the brushes. And you can get, there's an eye set that I haven't gotten yet, but I need to, and that would be a really good set to get if you're just starting out. The eye set, it's like you get 4 or 5 brushes or something. I think it's like €25, but they're good quality, and you get a blending brush in it, which is kind of key when you're looking for an eye set, to get like a fluffy brush, because like I said, I think that's kind of a staple that you need. I think Eco Tools has like a 6-piece eye set that has a blending brush in it anyway. So just look out for, if you're looking for an eye set, look out for, does it have a blending brush, like a fluffy brush like these. And Eco Tools and Real Techniques you can get in Boots. So if you just go to where the makeup brushes are and stuff, you'll see like all the different sets. So again, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll get back to you. Bye!